Hi guys, we're going to start off with the letter of agreement, and we'll be talking about the contract in the next 2 videos. So this will be a total of 3 videos that we'll be having to go through for this process, just with all of the chaos with IT and all of that. So anyway, the letter of agreement, it's the more casual approach to a contract of sorts with your client. As you'll see, there really aren't any blanks here except for dear blank and blank. So you can fill that in with your client's name or whatever name you want to pretend with. You do have to know what A and B include to make sense of what the blanks are on the following page. And we'll look at that in just a second. So the blanks are in reference to the payment terms on the letter of agreement. So here you'll see design services described above in section A will be billed at the rate of blank per hour. So going back to section A, this is really just the scope of the project that we're going to be meeting, that we're going to review what they already have, and if we can use it for potential use again, or if it has to be replaced. Anyway, this is where you put all of the scope of the project and exactly what you're going to be doing. Recommended color schemes, furniture, fabrics, finishes, and accessories, or will it just be limited to preparing a color scheme and some accessories? So this is really just covering out the scope. So these are what you're going to be offering your client and how much do you want to be paid for that will go here. So the reason for this video and explanation in detail is just because I wanted to be able to tell you guys a little bit about that. So this can be really anywhere like $100 to $125 for a seasoned designer. Students just graduating, I think that's fine to start at about $50 per hour. If you're in school and you feel comfortable with taking on clients, $50 is fine. 45 isn't unheard of, but I wouldn't go really less than that because you are going to be, fairly well educated at this point, except for Leanne. Leanne's just starting out, but still, with, really great taste and with the skills that you guys do have, I think $45 to $50 per hour is totally fine. And that can be raised, every year if you want to raise it 20 bucks or so. And I would say after you've had about 2 years within the environment, of the industry, that you can go all the way up to 125. That's definitely not heard of. So depending on what you want to put here, I would say 45 to the $50 range just starting off. If you want to make this a completely pretend type of thing for your future and have fun with it, that's fine too. You can go higher. Next is for services described above in section B, a fee for all purchases made on behalf of the client will be billed at cost plus blank percent. So this is strictly for you making purchases on the behalf of the client. So this is when you have something that when the client has something that they would like for you to buy because of your discount, but they are really recommending it, or they are really the ones that pursued searching for it and finding it. This is when they basically want your discount for something they want to buy. Or assisting in scheduling of delivery and inspection of goods. That wasn't included in your original scope. So basically anything that includes charging for after the fact, or if they want your discount, then I usually in the past have charged 15%. I've seen as high as 25%. So I think within the range of 15 to 25 is a fair range. So I'm giving you some leniency, as you can see, just, to kind of feel yourself out, and you can, decide how you want to go with that. Okay, next is to secure these services, a retainer in the amount of blank credited toward the future billing is requested. So anything that you charge here will go toward the final balance. And this changes as well. This can be 50% of the job, which you anticipate the job to be. It could be a flat amount. It kind of depends on the longer and more experience that you have. So that, in determining what the final amount will be, you're not going to know right away after graduation what this amount will look like because you don't know what the final price will be. So that's why I also highly recommend you to go forward with working under another designer or 2 or 3 and get some really great experience under your belt so you can kind of have some experience with what jobs like that look like. So you can definitely put a whole dollar amount, like $750, if you think that is a good percentage. If you think that the room is going to cost about $2,000, let's say, in your best effort to anticipate and estimate what your costs will be, you can definitely ask for half of that. And if you just really don't know, you can say $500 now, and another $500 in a month, or as soon as we get X, Y, and Z finished. So this is really going to range. This can be a flat amount or or a percentage. So if you're looking at this job specifically, this is talking about providing sketches. There's a lot of the design process with preliminary, the schematic phase that's involved, even a budget. And so this is pretty, let's see, I forgot what the rooms were. Suggested for 3 rooms, but I'm not seeing what 3 rooms those are. So, this is pretty extensive is what I was trying to say. And also consultations of subcontractors. So for 3 rooms, I would say if you estimate each room is going to be about $5,000 because you're providing furniture and accessories, as well as some finishes. So, that's $15,000 right there. So if you want to ask for, up to 50% is the maximum that I would ask for. But if you wanted to ask for 1/3 of that, so that would be the $5,000 amount. I'll just put that up here. Then that would be totally acceptable. Hopefully that's clearer to you. Return 1 signed copy to me with the retainer payable to. This is kind of old school. That's like if you're getting a check. So you can totally remove that if you want to. You can change that to make it like a Venmo or whatever you see fit. And then it's telling them to retain the original for their files. So other than that, they sign, you sign, everyone's happy. And that's the letter of agreement.